3D Christmas Hippopotamus Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you a Christmas hippo nail art design. So the reason that I'm doing a Christmas hippo, which I mean there's so many different animals that you could throw a Santa hat on and say that they're Christmas themed, but this one is because of the song I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. And a really funny quick story about that is we have a deck of cards that has different animals on them. They're a Smithsonian deck that was for wildlife conservation. And on the number 4s, there's a hippo, and it gives a couple little hippo facts. And without realizing it, whenever I had a 4 in my hand, I would start humming I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, and it didn't take too long for everyone I played cards with to figure that out, and they always knew if I had a 4. Nobody told me this for a very long time, so I was definitely playing at a disadvantage. So anyways, I love this song. It's one of those classic Christmas songs that always puts a smile on my face. So I hope you guys like this design as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to start with an overlay of a gorgeous shimmery white. This is one of my absolute favorite colors to use as a background color because it really is subtle and is something that you don't necessarily, it doesn't stand out. It's not something that flashes you in the face like, oh my gosh, look at me, but it's pretty and subtle. So then I'm going to encase it with a layer of clear acrylic to make sure it does stay nice and strong and that shimmery does not get ruined by your file. So now, depending on whether you're going to be e-filing it or hand filing it, go ahead and file it into shape to make sure that it is nice and smooth and shapely and all that good stuff. Then I used a finer bit just to sort of smooth it out. Then using a gray acrylic, I'm going to add the base layer to my hippopotamus's face. So there is just the first, like I said, base layer. So I have a nice, really big, wide smile on him. So I have his nice cheeks coming out just like that and have his chin underneath. You know, a nice, good hippopotamus face. And it's hard to kind of tell. But then I'm going to take my smaller brush. Actually, I'm going to take my dotting tool, which is on the other end of my sculpting brush. And I'm going to basically poke in where his eyes are going to be. Kind of gruesome or gory or evil or whatever you want to call it, but at the moment that's what we're doing. And then I'm going to take, I've got this really nice cloudy lavender color, and I'm going to be using that as my hippopotamus layer color. So this color, like I said, I called it cloudy, but it's actually pretty sheer. So if you build it up, it does come into that purple lavender pigmentation, but if you just do a thin layer of it, you basically would think it was clear. So if you want to, you can definitely just mix a spoonful of purple pigment or purple acrylic into a jar of clear acrylic to get this color. I just happen to have one, so that works out well for me. But that does a great layering effect and kind of gives your hippo that, I don't know, hippo shiny skin appearance that they have. And then I went back and with my dotting tool, I poked in his nostrils as well. Same size as his eyes, if you guys are curious about that. And then just kind of blend that purple up around his eyes a little bit, but that doesn't add a beautiful highlight to his face. So then I'm going to take my red acrylic and I'm going to be adding my hippo's Santa hat. So there is the first layer of it. Kind of bring that down in the little point, just like that. Pull that out, add some more red acrylic if you have to. The one thing about red acrylic is I try to not apply too much at a time and have to move it too much because, as you can see, I have clearly cleaning up stains because the pigmentation of red acrylic just gets everywhere. And with white acrylic, I'm going to take and start adding a couple fine details. So I started with his nice big wide teeth right under his nostrils. And then really easy, you can just pop a little bit of white into those holes you made for his eyes and it'll fill them in gorgeously. Add a little ball of that white acrylic on the end of his hat for the ball on the end of his hat. And a little bit of trim on the brim of his hat or on the headband part of his hat. Just like so. And if it does get a little bit pink from the red, you can always paint that later. So now with blue paint, I'm going to be adding the irises in his eyes. And as you can see, I made him look a little bit cross-eyed. This is definitely a goofy hippo, not a realistic hippo. I want it to be a fun, kind of a happy-go-lucky, cute design. So I, made him look a little bit extra goofy. I did highlight all the white stuff. So the details, the trim on his hat and his teeth with some white paint, brighten those up. Take some black that's diluted and add little shadows inside his nostrils and around his smile, just like that, a nice big wide smile. Add some eyelids on there, just like so. A little bit of details here and there around his face, outlines where you see fit. And anywhere that you add an outline, just try to make sure that they're really thin. As you can see, I've got all kinds of paint on my thumb from where I've diluted paint or where there's been too much on my brush. Definitely be conscientious of how much paint is on your brush, and that will make a huge difference for your outlines. So don't rush things, just dip your brush ever so slightly, just the very tip in your paint, and that's going to give you the best results for these thin little outlines. Add a little white highlight on his eyes, and then apply a layer of matte top coat over the background and gel sealer over your hippo. So actually over the background, over his hat is matte, and then just over the hippo is shiny, because to me, if you think of a hippo, I always think of a hippo that has been in the water. He's just kind of shiny and glossy and has that appearance. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do, and please share recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!